What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the PokeWix channel, where today we are going to show you my base set binder. Now, I know this is some things that you guys have wanted to see for a little while here. Now, it's a little bit different to some things that I have showed you on the channel before. Usually we're opening packs, opening booster boxes, opening boxes, collections, just those kind of things. But I think, why not go back to the base set itself and the hype that has been surrounding it, from the Logan Paul hype, lots of things going on in the community, lots of box breaks, PokeRand as well. He's been out there sort of opening some sick booster boxes, especially some of the old vintage stuff, some Wizard of the Coast. So I thought, why not today, let's show you what's in this special binder. Now, you'll probably see around about a third of what's actually in this binder, just because I might save the other little bits for a couple of other videos down the line. But if we open this binder up, we're going to see some old classics and a lot of stuff that lots of people really want to collect now. So if you see here, the first page that we have, this is the original base set cards, the unlimited cards. I was unfortunately stupid enough to sell my first edition set back in 2012 for about £300. Yeah, I made a big mistake there on that one. But Pokemon kind of went out of my life a little bit from, you know, the early sort of late 2000s to the early 2010s, 2012s. I then got back into collecting in 2015 and really regretted selling that set. But let's take a look at some of these cards here. So we start off at the top here with the Alakazam, the Blastoise and Chansey. Of course, the one card that everybody wants, which if I just get out of the set here, is the Charizard card, which I have a couple of these. Now, this one here is probably the one that's in the best condition, so it's in my binder sort of hiding away. I love the old sort of texture that you do get on these cards. I'll pop that one back in there at the way. You then have Clefairy, Gyarados, Hitmonchan down at the bottom if we move that up slightly. The Machamp, which was always first edition, even though you find that you know, this is from the unlimited set, it was always a first edition card. And then you also have the Magneton Holo here as well. If we flip over onto the second page, you will see, if my camera will focus in, if I move that over slightly, we have got the Mewtwo Holo at the top, a Nidoking, a Ninetales, Poliwrath, Raichu, and the Venusaur Holo. The final holo of this set, if we look down here, is the Zapdos Holo. Now, what I always like with these older sets is that they used to put everything in alphabetical order. I'm just going to pull the Venusaur card out here as well, just so you can get a bit more of a closer up look at this one. I will go back to the Blastoise again in a second. But they used to put everything in alphabetical order for the holos, the uncommons, all the rares as well, and then the non-holos and the non-commons, they all went in alphabetical order as well. So you weren't guaranteed to sort of go through, get mixed up sets, secret rares at the end, things like that. It's kind of just the plain base first edition sort of unlimited sets from the base set, which I really do quite like. Something simplistic about it. It is quite nice. Let's just get the Blastoise out here as well. The only problem I have with this Blastoise, you guys will probably be able to see it just about on the camera. I don't know if you can see it just there. There is a massive print line through this one. But, you know, Pokemon cards have never been the best quality. We've always had some sort of issues with them. Mine just happened to be the print line through there. Now, a lot of people, sort of through these cards here, a lot of people obviously go for the main three starters, but I would say that Gyarados is another one which has been quite a sought after card. Let's get this one out here. This was actually one I only picked up a little while ago. It was one that was actually missing from my base set. And I managed to pick this up, like really great quality for a very low price, which, you know, in the current day and age is very difficult to do. But that is another card that is very sought after. All of my cards are not in PSA 10 condition, let's just put it that way. But they don't have to be. I mean, a lot of people look to do that these days, but these were cards from my childhood. These are cards that I've collected over the years. There are some that I've obviously bought at later points, but most of these I actually collected when I was, you know, 10, 12 when I was around when Pokemon first came out. So they're definitely not going to be in the best condition. Another one that a lot of people do like is the Raichu Holo, obviously the evolution of Pikachu. There's another lovely card. This is one that I remember. I think this was one of the first holos I actually ever pulled. This Raichu Holo. I've always been a big fan of Charizard, but I always do remember pulling the Raichu as my first holo, and yeah, I think I was mobbed on the playgrounds for that one because lots and lots of people wanted it. Now, what if you do look down here, we then do have the start of the uncommons. We have Beedrill and Dragonair. A lot of people love this Dragonair card, obviously not holo at all, but just the artwork in the back of that one does look really sick. Again, lovely card that people are after. And then if we move on over here, we go into the continuation of the rares. We've got Dugtrio, Electabuzz, Electrode, Pidgeotto, Arcanine, which again, I always bring this up every time I have an Arcanine. It's something that a lot of people don't know, but it was one of the first legendary Pokemon that was out there. A lot of people think it was just a fire type, but the legendary Pokemon started with this Arcanine, before Lugia, before Ho-Ho, before all those other legendaries, Zapdos, Articuno. I mean, obviously Zapdos is in here as well, but that was actually noted. I will just get it out here, but that was noted, as you see, as an electric Pokemon. So before they were known as the legendary birds, it was known as just an electric type Pokemon. But moving on, obviously we then have the de-evolution of Charizard, which is the Charmeleon card. Again, a very sought after card still, a lot of people out there. I have been through my set and made sure that I haven't got any hidden gems of the base set, so unfortunately none of these are shadowless, none of them are first edition. But again, at the end of the day, it's a binder that's for me. It's not about, you know, sort of selling these on. These will stay with me for the foreseeable future unless anything drastic changes, but I'm not looking to sell these on. We then have the Dugong, Dratini, the Farfetch'd, you know, the Mr. Leak Pokemon. We flip this over, and then we start to go into the uncommons down here. So again, if I just tilt, because the lighting in here is terrible. We have Growlithe and the Haunter. I mean, this I think is probably one of my best Haunter artworks that have been out there for quite some time. You know, I do love that little CGI kind of looking Haunter there. You then have the Ivysaur, the Jinx, very sort of controversial Pokemon, let's put it that way. You know, it now has the purple face, whereas in Japan, let's just say it didn't. And right next to that, another controversial Pokemon, Kadabra, which I don't think has been printed since 2002. Uri Geller, he's the man that, you know, doesn't like that Pokemon. So we'll move on from those guys very quickly. But we have a Kakuna, a Machoke, a Magikarp, and then a Magmar. Magikarp still being an uncommon, that still gets me to this day. But then we move on over here and we have the Nidorino, a Poliwell, the Porygon, and the Raticate, Seal, and final uncommon is a Wartortle, which again, a lot of people love this card. It's one of the main starters. Ivysaur doesn't really get the love that it deserves, but Wartortle itself, again, quite a nostalgic card. People love these starters these days. Just because I did mention Ivysaur, we'll just get him out here. But as you can see, it is a card that I think looks really nice, but it just doesn't get the love that it gets because poor old Venusaur, he was the worst of the three starters. We then go down here and we have the start of the commons. So obviously, again, going in alphabetical order, we start with Abra, Bulbasaur, 30k at Christmas, why not? Caterpie, and then if we scroll over here, we do have then, at the top, you can't quite see him, there he is, Charmander, and we have a Diglett, a Doduo, Drowsy, Ghastly, Coughing, and a Machop, a Magnemite, a Metapod, and scrolling over here, we have the Nidoran, the Onix, the Pidgey, and then this again, nice real card that lots of people love, the Pikachu, sort of chunky sort of looking thing. Before he was in the anime, he had the purple little tips, purple tail, and the yellow cheeks in the unlimited version here. So the red cheeks I think was mainly just the Shadowless and the first edition set, but then he converted solely to the yellow cheeks here. We'll get him back into the set here. Moving forward, we still have the Poliwag, Ponyta, Rattata, the Sandshrew, and then at the bottom down here, which we will just pull out, we have Mr. Squirtle himself. Again, this artwork, I think of all of the three sort of starters, Bulbasaur's artwork was probably Charmander's was pretty good, but Squirtle's, I think, by far and away is the best artwork of the main base set cards. But again, it's a lovely looking card. Again, most of these cards, the commons and the uncommons, believe it or not, were actually in better condition than the holos, just because I think when I was younger they went into smaller binders and the commons never came out. It was more mainly the holos that you pull out, you sort of show your friends, you sort of pass them around. But yeah, it's an unusual one, that one there. But we then have Starmie, Staryu, Tangela, Voltorb, and as you guys will probably notice, the Vulpix down here. Now, if you guys will probably already know exactly what's different on this card to any other, but let me just get the Voltorb card out here, see if you guys can see it quickly. But this wasn't, this was how the main set was printed. You'll probably notice the HP a little bit up here. It's on the right hand side of the numbers on the normal cards, and that is for every other card. But on the Vulpix card, don't know what they decided, but they printed it on the left. So you had HP 50 instead of 40 HP. Now, that is the common version of the Vulpix. It's not the the rare card, it's the one that was printed more often. If you manage to get it the other way around, where it said 50 HP, that is now quite a sought after card because they're so rare. A lot of them weren't in existence. I think they only realised the error right towards the end, and then they started reprinting it correctly. So again, if you pick one up that way around, that's quite a good way to know that you've got maybe a little bit of an investment opportunity on that one. But then the final Pokemon, obviously Weedle, and we then get into the trainers. Now, again, starting with the rares and everything down here, you've got the Clefairy, the Computer Search, the De-Evolution Spray. And then obviously over here you've got the Imposter Professor Oak and Item Finder. Now this one here is again another card that I picked up relatively late. It was very difficult to find this card, so again, it's something that I had to pick up quite late. Wasn't something that we managed to get off the bat. And then going through here, you've got some of the other rares. You've got Lass, Pokemon Breeder, again, quite another difficult one to find, Pokemon Trader. And then you actually get back into Scoop Up and Super Energy Removal. And I think that is the final rare one, in which when they then sort of go into the uncommon ones here, which we've got Defender, Energy Retrieval. Moving over this side, we have the Full Heal and Maintenance, which you've seen reprinted in some of the other sets like Evolutions. Plus Power, Pokemon Center, Pokemon Flute, Pokédex, Professor Oak, Revive, the Super Potion. And coming over this side here, we have Bill, Energy Removal, Gust of Wind, Potion, Switch, and we then get into the energy cards. Now, you've got the double colourless energies. These I really like. I really like the old style energy cards. They don't do them like this anymore. Just the little wisp behind of the white just looks so nice. You then have the fighting type energy, the fire type energy, the leaf type energy. Now you guys will get a little bit of a sneak peek of maybe a future video here, but we move over quickly to get them out of the way, and we have a lightning type energy, a psychic type energy, and a water type energy. So that is the complete base set cards here. We will flip this back over just to show you the holos again at the front. If you are going to ask me, you guys will know if you ask me what my favourite card is, it is always going to be that Charizard card. I have actually got multiple of the card, but in this set that is the best condition one that I own. So it's always hidden away in my binder, just to make sure it's protected. And what I would say, guys, is if you are looking for a great binder, pick up one of these Volt X Ziploc binders, just purely because it gives you the best protection. It's got the Xenoform covering, so again, anything that gets spilled on this is not going to soak through. Generally sort of bashing about, it doesn't usually get damaged, but that would be my recommendation. Pick up a Voltex binder, and I have every card in here sleeved in Titan Shield sort of card sleeves, just because they seem to be, for me, the best, and the best value sort of sleeves out there. But yeah, guys, that was my base set binder. Catch me again in the next video, where I imagine, hopefully, some Vivid Voltage may have arrived. So it might be delayed by a couple of days, but you'll see me on the channel again then. Peace!